Today is a very spontaneous Q&A. Reasoning being is I totally formatted my memory card before removing the old footage. So the video that was supposed to be launching today is long gone. The original video was me cleaning this room and getting it ready for the holidays, but now it's clean. So if you just want to have like a puzzle tour video, let me know. But instead of that, we are doing a Q&A because I messed up. So we were gonna go over a whole bunch of things today, like my favorite brands I avoid, and we have a couple moving questions as well. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining my channel. It's so cool to have people from all over the world following me here and just have a joint love for puzzles, so it's just been really fun. Today we are doing another giveaway, so if you missed the last video, every video in the month of December does have a puzzle being given away in it. All the information is down in my description box below, and then the puzzle today is another Antelope, and it is Metropolis. So super fun, very busy puzzle, and it looks really cool. So again, that is the puzzle being given away today. Make sure to do all the things down below. There's more than one way to enter, and make sure to follow Antelope over on their Instagram to give them some love for supporting my channel. So today, let's just do these questions. If you have more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would love to do another one. And if you're new to the channel, because I do know there's quite a few new subscribers, I am moving. So some of these questions are moving related. Me and my husband currently live in California. We are moving up to Washington in around February. So it's going to be a very busy first half of the year for us between moving and living in temporary housing, buying a house, selling our house. It's like a whole thing. So it's just going to be a really fun, interesting year for next year. I'm excited about it. Anyways, enough of me rambling. It is going to be a lengthy one, most likely, so make sure to have some coffee, tea. I have hot chocolate in my very exciting Disney mug. It's exciting to me because I totally forgot that I had it until like 10 minutes ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I like ran to the garage and made some hot chocolate. We're just gonna go into this. Starting with, do I still use the puzzle rental subscription? So I did a video a while back called Completing the Puzzle. I want to say it was back in January, so close to a year ago. And I'll leave that video down below if you are curious, but it's a way for you to, if you don't have like a lot of space, or if you don't want to buy puzzles all the time, you can rent them through this subscription service. And they did let me try a month for free, and it is a cool concept and I can see it working for a lot of people, but I did have a couple of gripes about it. One, there was one puzzle that arrived and there was like 5 pieces missing. So for me, it just wasn't quite worth the price. It is a very cool concept, but I live so far away from them that it took a long time for the turnaround to happen. So for me, I would only get like maybe 2 a month, and that's just not worth the price, because I can get puzzles from brands, I have puzzles here, I can get puzzles from a thrift store and pick out those puzzles and have them in good quality. The ones that I did get, there's one that had like stuff all over it, there was another that had missing pieces. It just wasn't my thing, but it could be really cool. There are other ones out there and they've reached out to me before to do a video on them. So let me know if you're interested in more variations of that type of puzzle subscription. Again, I'll leave that video down below. It is US based, so more for our domestic subscribers, but that's the story on completing the puzzle. Next, how am I going to move the pirate ship? So if you guys have seen my cubic fun video, I have this massive pirate ship that's right above my head, and it's on these shelves back here. It's huge. It's like this big, but then it's also like really tall, and honestly, I don't know if it's going to survive. The cool thing about this move, we aren't doing any of the packing, so it has to be done by the moving company that Dave's work uses. It's kind of, think of it as like a military move where they're moving everything, they're documenting everything that's going in these boxes, and so I don't know if we would actually, if that one's gonna survive. They're probably gonna look at it and be like, we'll see how it goes. I might ask them if it's possible for it to move, and if not, no harm, no foul, like it's fine. But it is a cool thing to have. Next we have, are you going to clear out some puzzles before we move, or am I taking everything with us? So for the most part, I am gonna take probably the majority of it. Again, we aren't doing the moving. His work pays for it. It does everything on their end, which is really cool. Makes it so much less stressful. So I'm really not worried about like the physical move part of things, but I'm also don't want to have puzzles that I don't have a need for in our new place, but also I have a channel, so sometimes it's nice to have those puzzles as reference if I've done them before. So for me, I think I'm going to keep most of them. There's maybe like a handful I'll get rid of. There's probably some that are going to go, some that will stay. Let me know if you want a video on that. What puzzle am I working on currently? So actually just about 30 minutes ago, I finished the Pintoo puzzle, which it's actually right here. I'll show it to you, even though you'll have a video on it in like the next video. I think it is. It's the next video that you get to see the Pintoo video. But here it is, and it was fabulous. So this is a huge sneak peek for the next video, but I go into more in depth about Pintoo and the brand and the puzzle in the next video. So probably should have waited on that one, but loved it, loved it. Also, they're from Taiwan, not from Thailand. I should mention that. But it was a very cool experience. Would 100% buy more from them. So I just finished that one just like right before filming. I do have the Antelope Andy Warhol as my next puzzle on the docket. I'm also currently working with all my advent calendars. So that's what I'm currently working on. I don't want to do too big right now just because it's just kind of chaos right now. So with the holidays, I do have a few Christmas ones I want to do, but kind of off camera. So let's see. Next we have favorite puzzle related YouTube channels. So of course I watch Karen Puzzles. I actually reached out to her a little bit ago and she was super nice. So Karen Puzzles, of course. Jigsaw Juby is one of my favorites. She's dangerous to watch for me because I will watch a haul video of hers or her puzzle roundup videos for the month and I would instantly have like 10 new puzzles on my wish list. So watch with caution, but her channel is fabulous and her haul videos are so good. So those are definitely my two favorite puzzle related channels, but aside from them, I don't watch too much puzzle YouTube. I'm much more into like the lifestyle / still beauty world. If you missed it, I did work at Sephora for 8 years, so I'm a huge like makeup lover, and so I watch some beauty YouTube, not the big ones, more like Jam Beauty 89 or like Jessica Braun, a few other smaller ones, and then lifestyle content. So I'm a big YouTube watcher. I would much rather watch YouTube than like Netflix. So I do love watching some YouTube. Next, we have best places to buy puzzles online. I feel like I am not the best person to ask that question. I buy some on Amazon. To be honest, I haven't had the best of luck when I'm buying on Amazon, and I think it's just my warehouse and my delivery area. I've heard some people have amazing results, but for me, they always come either damaged or bent out of shape. Sometimes they don't even have like actual cardboard with the puzzle. It's like a puzzle box inside like a bag and then they drop it off here and you're just like, that was not the best system. So I really think it's just like my personal Amazon area. Maybe the warehouse finds the cardboard box to be sufficient travel arrangements, but it really isn't because the box is part of the experience. So Amazon has not worked out for me. But I do a lot of just buying directly from the brand websites. I have bought from Serious Puzzles. I do like going there for 3D puzzles, and I have gotten a few things from them as well. I've also gone to Puzzle Warehouse because they have like a variety, and if I know I'm gonna buy like one of a few different brands, that's a good place to go, or Puzzle Canada. I'll leave all these down below. At Puzzle Canada, even though I am US, if you hit a certain threshold, you get free shipping, so it really doesn't matter. It just takes a little bit longer to get here, but you can find usually great deals or just brands we don't normally have here in the States. So that's usually where I go if I'm going to get like a bunch of different puzzle brands. But if I'm going to buy maybe 2 or 3 from the same brand, I usually go directly to the brand's website. I think part of this is because I just finished my business degree, marketing degree, and the amount that like certain third-party websites take as a cut, so for like Amazon, it costs brands quite a bit of money to post and sell on Amazon. So especially in like those smaller brands, I'd much rather support them on their own personal websites because it kind of supports them a little bit more. But Amazon's a great place to go. I just haven't had great success. I'd much rather go to the brand themselves. So the next few questions are really good ones. So we have 2 brands I avoid. Now for me, I'm not much of a stickler when it comes to images or brands, just because a puzzle is a puzzle and I love to do them. But there are a couple brands that I haven't had the best experiences with, so I probably won't buy them, at least new. I would never buy these new. I may buy them if I got them secondhand or swapped for them, but I try not to get them. The first one is Disney branded puzzles. So not like Ravensburger where they're Disney images or Disney licensed puzzles, but the puzzles you get in Disney are from Disney themselves, because they are awful. They actually have a reputation of only having like 999 pieces versus 1,000 pieces. Like there's actually like an unofficial club if you become part of the 999 club, you know, because you're missing a piece. And also their quality is atrocious. I have quite a few of them. There's always a fish stew. They're always super thin pieces. They're always super small pieces that don't make sense for the image. Like I would not buy a puzzle from Disney, but I would buy Disney licensed puzzles. So I hope you understand that. I also try to avoid Seiko when I can. Now there is one that I'm really interested in that I have currently that's cork, so I'm interested in that one, but it's not like the best of quality of items. I would never buy them new, but I don't mind receiving them as a gift. I don't mind getting them at like the thrift store, you know, but it's just like the quality is never there for me, and even though they have some amazing images, it's okay. You know, it's a brand that I don't mind receiving, but not necessarily buying. So there you go. Let's see, my top 3 brands and why. So, this is harder than the avoid one because there's so many good brands, and I've tried so many brands that maybe I've only tried one of theirs, but it stood out, you know, and I want to buy more from them. They're like my rising star type puzzle brands. You know, because there's a few, like Ellen Essex, I've done one of her puzzles, but I loved it. Want to buy more from her. Not my favorite brand, but deserves a mention, you know. Same with Schmidt. They're a huge brand, similar to Ravensburger. I just had a great experience with the Magical Journey puzzle. Loved it. Not necessarily my favorite, but one of my favorites of the year. So my 3 favorite puzzle brands currently that are just like repetitive, I know I'm going to love it. I seek them out. First, you're not surprised, it's New York Puzzle Company. I love them so much. There's such a variety of images, and I have found the few tips and tricks to determine this different styles, because I know sometimes they can be a little blurry if they're more the artsy ones. So I actually do have a video coming that's all about like all my New York Puzzle Company puzzles, because I've done over 10 of them. I have a ton of them and they're so fun. So New York Puzzle Company is definitely in my top 3. They just have such chunky pieces. They have a variety of different styles. So they have more whimsy shapes, they have more traditional shapes. Again, they have a ton of variety. And I will say there's been, I think, 2 so far that did not meet quality standards for me. Everything else has been beautiful. So I love New York Puzzle Company. They're relatively affordable, and you can usually find deals throughout the year. So like right now I think they have like some 25% off, so they're between like $17 to $24, so nothing crazy expensive. The second brand, I'm like looking around, I think I figured it out. So New York Puzzle Company, Ravensburger, because who doesn't? They have such great quality, and I feel like I'm adding Schmidt to that because they're so similar. I love just the variety. Again, you have beautiful images, beautiful quality. And then my third I am going to put is Antelope. I have done now 6 or 7 of their puzzles and have loved every single one of them. The only issue I have for them is they have a paper backing, but other than that, I love them so much. They have great quality, they are 100% match, they have a great fit. I've never had false fits, so they definitely are in the deserving spot of being in my top 3 brands. And I'm not just saying that because I'm giving them away today. Like, I am constantly looking at there's more puzzles from them that I want. So those are my 3, I think. There's also, I want to have a couple extras. Magnolia, really have been loving their stuff. I've done 2 so far from them, but I feel like I haven't done enough to consider them my favorite, you know? And then I do love Jackaroo. They're just so bright and happy, and I've done 5 of their puzzles this year. Loved them. So there's my answer. I tried really hard to narrow it down to 3. I did narrow it down to 3, but there's definitely some like deserving honorable mentions, rising star type puzzle brands. Let's see, next, favorite brand that holds together well. That would probably be Antelope, actually. They have a really, really good fit. And you can pick up you can do the pickup test and like no issues. So I remember Jackaroo being a really good brand too that had a good fit as well. And I was able to pick up the whole thing, but those are other brands at the top of my head that I would choose. Let's see, favorite brand for whimsy cuts. I love whimsy cut puzzles. Probably New York Puzzle Company has some whimsy cuts, not as crazy as some. Ooh, Sun's Out. Sun's Out. That's my answer. New York Puzzle Company is good, but it's hard to determine which one is the whimsy cuts. I've had really good success with Sun's Out. Some of them are crazy. I've done a few from them. I did the, it used to be here, but it was the fall puzzle, and then I did the Haunted Mansion puzzle from last October. That one I loved. It's definitely a brand I'm eyeing more of. I do have one down there. It's a Perfect Snowman, or Sweet Snowman. So I do have one on the docket to do this season, and they have some really fun cuts. They're also based here in California, which is cool. So next question we have is puzzle goals you have. So I think my goal this year was to do 100 puzzles this year. Last year, I forget the amount that I did. I've already surpassed last year's numbers by far. I'm close to meeting my 100 puzzles goal this year, which for me is huge because at the first half of the year I was still in school and it was just crazy and I was doing my capstone. So to be able to do 100 puzzles this year was going to be challenging, and I'm close to it. Like, it's definitely, I'm going to beat it, you know. I still just have a month left. So that was my goal this year, and I can see that being a good goal next year as well, but I do want to do some larger piece counts. Also, moving might adjust some of my goals, so I do want to do 100 puzzles next year as well. I just pulled out this puzzle because I'll need it for a visual, but one of my puzzle goals is to do the full collection of the Wildlife Collection by Treacer. So I have a whole video about them. I'll leave it down below. They are a Swiss brand, and they were originally crowdfunded. And you can tell on, hopefully you can see it there, that this is just one of 8 pieces, and it becomes a full mural when they're together. So it's equivalent to having like an 8,000 piece puzzle once it's all together, and it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I remember the fit being not my favorite. I would say, like, think of Haya. But the image quality was beautiful. You know, saturation was beautiful. And this is something I would consider like doing all 8 sections and having as like a whole wall, like a statement wall in our new place, or like in my puzzle room. That would be probably a goal of mine. It's been a goal of mine. I only have the one, and I would want to buy all of them. They also have this big giant one for the world. It was for endangered species, and like part of the proceeds goes towards endangered species. So it's just a really cool brand. I'll leave their video down below, and I enjoy them. And I feel like now that I have been used to buying international puzzles, the shipping cost doesn't bother me too much. But that's what I know, something I mentioned in that video. And I think I have one more question, right? Let's see. Yes. Would you ever consider tackling a giant puzzle? Yes, I would. I don't know how large though, because I mean the largest one right now is 60,000 pieces, but it's broken up into 1,000 piece chunks, so it's a doable 60,000 piece puzzle, you know? I just know that for